High school alumni group chat started pinging in the dead of night. Someone, probably bored and nursing a drink, threw out a prompt. 3 keywords to describe your high school experience. Go. The chat, which had been dormant for years, suddenly saw a name pop up that made my heart skip a beat. It was Camille Sterling, the undisputed prom queen of our graduating class. Vibrant, she wrote, passionate. Then, after a deliberate pause, she added one more. And Nate. The chat exploded. Even after a decade, they were still the it couple of our high school's tragic lore. The rebellious, wealthy bad boy and the ethereal, gentle honor student. They had loved each other with a raw, burning intensity that everyone envied, only for it to end in a messy, rain-soaked heartbreak the summer after graduation. Every person in that chat had been a witness to their epic saga, including me. I shifted my gaze to Nate, who was sleeping soundly beside me. The jagged edges of the boy I once knew had been smoothed over by time and tailoring. Nathaniel Vance was no longer the leather jacket-wearing delinquent. He was my husband, distinguished, composed, and completely, utterly indifferent to me. That old thorn, the one I pushed deep into my skin years ago, began to throb with a dull, familiar ache. It seemed the onlookers were more invested in the ghost of their relationship than the actual people involved. Camille's Instagram says she's single, but Nate, does anyone actually know? He went dark after the breakup, dropped out of the loop completely. Now the only place I see him is on Bloomberg. Please, the man is a machine. No scandals, no tabloid shots, just work. There's no way he has a girlfriend. Makes sense. When you lose the love of your life that young, everyone else is just noise. Why did they actually break up anyway? Classic ego. She wanted to head to the Sorbonne. He was being a prick about it. They both leaned into the drama instead of the compromise. Ugh, it's like a second chance romance novel waiting to happen. I'm obsessed. They kept spinning the fantasy, and I kept my mouth shut. I stared at the ceiling, wondering if I was the noise. Was I just the compromise he made when he realized he couldn't have the real thing? I reached over to turn off the lamp, but Nate's phone lit up on the nightstand. Unknown. I'm back, Nate. There was no contact name, but I didn't need one. Only Camille called him Nate with that specific casual intimacy. He was out cold, his hand resting instinctively over my stomach as it often did in his sleep. His wedding ring, pulled against my skin through my silk nightgown, felt heavier than usual tonight. A wave of nausea hit me. My thumb hovered over his screen, wanting to delete the message before he could see it. I knew his passcode, 579579. It was a pattern on the keypad, a sequence I'd long convinced myself was a code for their names or some anniversary. I stared at the lock screen for 2 full minutes, my heart hammering against my ribs, before I finally set it down. Going through his phone felt beneath me. Besides, Nate didn't indulge me the way he'd indulged her. I remembered a day in 10th grade when Camille had been fuming because a freshman girl wouldn't stop texting him. Nate had just laughed, sliding his phone across the desk to her. You jealous, babe? He'd whispered, his eyes dancing. I already blocked her, but go ahead, check the logs. Delete anyone you don't like. I'm all yours. Thinking about it now kept the sleep away. I stayed awake until 7, when the light finally started to bleed through the curtains. Nate's internal clock was usually surgical. He was a man of routines, gym, shower, black coffee, office, but today he stayed in bed. He stared at his phone for a long time, his thumbs moving slowly as he typed. He didn't get up until 8. Nate, I called out as he stood by the dresser. Yeah? The high school centennial is this weekend. Are you going? We weren't the kind of couple that shared everything. We shared a bed, a mortgage, and a quiet life. Yet I had to find out about the biggest event of the year from a group chat while he slept inches away. He paused, adjusting his cufflinks. Yeah, are you? I shook my head. High school wasn't a highlight reel for me. For most people, it was a place to visit old haunts and mentors. For me, it was a museum of humiliations. He didn't push. He probably didn't want me there anyway. I glanced at my own phone. The group chat was at 100+ notifications.